Welcome back to the Pact Boon. Previously on, the party said farewell to the pan-fried knight, and Draven sent them to the nether realm after burning them into a building. They killed Talriel, the wiry psycho spy for Sheriff Don Talaab, one of his top deputies. After taking a rest, having some dreams on some ends, some sleeping soundly for the night, honestly, the only person who sleeps throughout the whole night, Cyril went missing, but he got a nice weapon for Elon. And the party went to investigate the epicenter where the lethargy seems to have exploded. The scene seemed to be altered a little bit, a pit of sorts, as ambush drakes erupted from the sand and attacked the party. The party fought bravely, felling one of the beasts, as two individuals came running onto the field, two more ambush drakes in tow, and introduced themselves as part of the Rakir, sand people. They said that they are looking for information about the lethargy, and when Sheriff Don Talaab was brought into question, one of them spat on the floor, and you guys said, I think we'll get along just fine. And that's where we are. Shout out to our sponsors, Roll and Play Press. Thank you so much. We got One Shot Wonders Dungeon Master Toolkit. You can use Better DM 10 or Pact Boon 10 for a discount and to support the show. We've also got Monument Studios for providing this melodic and also the squelches that I'm sure are going to come back around. We always got to have the squelches from them. You can use code BetterDM for a discount there. And also Charlie Reader for some of his disgusting miniatures that we are using. They're awesome. Thank you, gang. Join us. We find ourselves in Hurtenberg. Standing before you are two members of the Rakir. One wearing a desert-style face covering, a hawk on their shoulder, and three ambush drakes designed to blend in with the sand and red rock. Another is an orcish fellow, a cleric of sorts with a runic maul. As they introduce themselves... My name is Nadir. And I am Sirako. We are outriders for the Rakir. What business do you have in this hellhole?
We are just here investigating the strange happenings that I'm sure you've witnessed. The purple shards, the exploding cast iron pans, the big man and his weird army of ghost animals.
I understood every word individually, but the context is lost on me. But purple rocks, yes, we are familiar with some purple rocks.
Okay, good. I mean, how familiar?
And you see the big guy kind of looks over at his companion. We are not at the liberty to dispose our information to strangers.
Well, maybe we can remedy that by becoming friends instead of strangers. Like to be honest, completely honest.
Classic.
We've come for kind of split reasons. One, primarily, we want to find out about these purple rocks, the lethargy that is happened to this town, and alternatively, we also come at the behest of Sheriff Don. However, we do not.
The big guy spits again.
Yes, we the same.
I join. Yeah.
We feel the same.
Give me a Constitution check.
You just have no spit in your mouth. It's just a desert.
That's exactly what happens. Let's see. 10.
You Mulan. where you spit and it just kind of hangs from your mouth a little bit. Do you suck it back in or try and...
No, I like grab my hand and like wipe it on whatever clothes I have.
Very impressive.
Yes, unlike what my friend was trying to say is that we also dislike him because, and I show the bracelet, I'm like, he has means of, affecting our lives, and we would like to somehow get free of him or maybe even end him, but until then we kind of had to go along with it, and here we are. We killed, if you look in the center of town, we killed one of his fancy star deputies. I don't know what to call them, like main deputies, and that's where we are. And then we came here and we're sorry about your lizard. We meant nothing personal.
It is okay. We will resurrect her.
What?
Wow.
Yes, anyways. I am intrigued by your proposition to end him.
Oh, is that also on your bucket list?
Summer bucket.
It is part of our duties in coming on as outriders for the Rakir to seek acquisitions on behalf of the Rakir.
Are you a privately held organization as well?
Of a sort. How familiar are you with how Tirash governs their lands?
0%. Otherwise, not 0%.
Maybe 10%.
Yeah, well, maybe not 10. We know Crestor, and that's it.
So maybe like 2%.
Yes, probably 2.
So you get the idea. Are you familiar with the term private equity?
Oh,
Yes, very much
I
so.
understand.
How about a company called BlackRock?
Definitely.
I
have
have
seen
heard,
BlackRock.
Wait, is that a joke?
It is.
Over my head.
The way that Tirash governs is basically you own part of the government when you have property under the governing flag of Tirash. The Rakir is not currently viewed as a legitimate government, and we would like a seat at the table. We have been sent on as emissaries for the Rakir in order to take our seat.
With Hurtenberg?
Part of our objectives are to see what is available.
And so what does this getting a seat at the table? Why do you have such a hatred of Sheriff Dawn? Have you also run into him?
He is a disrespecter of the land. He is abomination.
What do you mean by that?
What have you seen of the effects of this purple rock?
Well,
Like stomach mouths and
Yes.
and also like dogs with hands in them
And the scorpion. Don't forget the scorpion.
Yeah.
oh scorpion ladies. Is this? Wait, but that has nothing to do with Sheriff Dawn. That's the purple rock.
It seems that the lethargy, the purple rock, has a bit of a theme. And it is not all bad.
how do you mean by that?
Well, naturally, the transforming into nasty creatures is bad.
Yes. Agreed.
Glad we're on the same page.
But just like I gave him gravel and he never had gravel in his voice, and yet here we are. Just like the gun at your waist.
Yes.
That
Is that inherently bad?
I feel like we could have a huge, discussion on this point.
And in fact, that is part of why we want a seat at the Tirash table.
So what you're saying is that the lethargy is not an entity, rather it is more of a tool, and someone is using it.
It is possible. It unfortunately is so new that there is still so much left to discover about this power. But the essence is, yes, it has bad. It is bad, but can be good.
How close are we to these guys?
I imagine they were kind of across that pit
So we're like
from
kind of
you.
yelling. Okay.
A little bit.
I'm just gonna kind of turn to them and say it's a little bit concerning that they're even open to kind of wanting to harness this, but
Yes, you know, and I kind of put my hand on Aelon's shoulder. I say, you know, we are interested in all you know about this. It seems like you know so much about the lethargy, and maybe after or in the process of dealing with the sheriff, maybe, you know, you can share with us what you know. Because for us, we see it as this dangerous thing, but maybe there's more to it. And then like I kind of whisper to Elon, like, we must find out what they know.
While he's whispering, Jolly
Give
would
me a persuasion check.
Jolly would also like to say, I'd also like to know, before we talk about anything else, you don't, like if someone was come and visit the Rakir and they just step on your land, like what would happen? Or like if you made Hertenberg part of the Rakir and we were still here, what would happen to us?
This the small guy kind of addresses you and
This foothold that he appears to have on his citizens is an enforced arcana that appears to be burgeoning. It is technology that is new. That it appears that there are possible two forces at work here. That he has somehow figured out or worked with someone who has figured out a means of enslaving people and also improving himself as a formidable force with, we assume, the lethargy.
what do you know of Thunderhold?
It is incredible. There is power in Thunderhold. The arcane colleges there are incredible sights. The features, the abilities that they are unlocking there are truly frightening and incredible.
Oh, I got a 12 on persuasion.
okay. Unfortunately, we are not in a position to truly express much more in this manner.
Not even to my question about what would happen to us if we went with you to Rakir.
As I have stated before, I'm just kidding. I did not hear you.
No, I'm basically asking if we work with you, would we become enslaved at all?
We're like indentured.
Yes, how much debt do we get by working with you?
Naturally, this will all be above board.
Does Jolly think he's lying?
Give me an insight check.
Above board. It's all legal, I guess.
Well, duh, it's legal.
Is it like, do you give us like an adjustable rate, like debt, like at all?
It's a fat 6.
Fat 6. And for that fat 6, you get a fat nothing.
Yep.
The little guy will kind of...
I take it that he has been using currency as part of the means in his enslavement.
Yes, my credit score is in the pits because of this deal.
See, and again, once we have a foot in the table in Tirash, credit scores, we do not believe in them.
Oh my god.
Nowhere else in the world are they calculating credit in this fashion. This is truly something that we are very excited about. We have a lot of platforms that we would love to bring to the table. truly, my friend Nadir is incredibly interested in the financial world. He wants to set up something like a reserve on a federal or a national level.
Guys, I think we should take them out.
Guys, I don't know. They want to get rid of credit scores. Mine is never going up. It's too much. Do you understand?
The reality is that we have no means of indenturing anybody into servitude. The Rakir are nomadic people. We live in the Mirage Mesa, in the Bloodstone Mountains. And he kind of gestures to those blood red mountains to the south. We simply need recognition for the governing body of Tirash. The people, it is not about the citizens of Crestor or Hurtenberg, who apparently are no longer here. It is a matter of bureaucracy that we have a say, and we simply seek a voice.
So I turn to these two. I'm like, I think we should go with them. We need, let's be honest, we need to take care of the sheriff. He has our blood. And I don't know if you guys understand how much power someone with, if someone who practices hemocraft gets our blood, that is just entirely too much for us. We cannot get past this. We must deal with it. And these guys can help us.
I don't understand all the inner workings of hemocraft, but it doesn't sound great. So
It's okay, Elan. I don't really understand like a Federal Reserve or credit scores either, but I do understand the concept of more is more, and we need more. We need allies.
Great. You know, I think we go with them. We find out about the lethargy. Maybe we ask a little bit about this Federal Reserve. Learn a little bit about, you know, how to maybe take out a loan without it ruining our credit score. You know, there's much to learn.
Yeah, it's like financial literacy class in high school.
In fact, part of what we are going to instill is in the Rakir is financial literacy across the board. We have noticed that a great deal of the gaps in equity is due to education. It is not situational. It is simply people don't know.
Wow, that's a very forward-thinking way of doing things. Now, I'm
Yes, but let's talk about how we want to kill the sheriff.
oh yes,
Yeah,
yes.
exactly.
Here we go.
Fine, if you want to talk about something boring.
So, how far away are we again from Crestor?
It's about a day and a half.
So the Mirage Mesa is this whole desert, and those those mountains. What are they called again?
The Bloodstone
The
Mountains.
Bloodstone Mountains are like you have to pass Crestor to get there, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask these guys. So, you know, being nomadic, you've definitely had run-ins with the sheriff. How have you remained outside of his clutches?
We have set up waypoints to discover where the property lines are.
Oh, okay.
And so you simply don't step foot on his property.
Easy enough.
So, I think maybe the first question we ask ourselves is, where would we like to kill him? I think because we're right now in Hurtenberg.
I think you guys are overestimating our abilities here. Like, we watched this guy just absolutely destroy a man who looked to be about as powerful as I am.
Yes, but he is he is a humanoid. No?
Think about it this way. When he came to us on the shore, who did he bring? Did he come alone? He came with the other two, you know, deputies who, you know, were his main support. And obviously they were strong individually. But we took them out with his help, of course, from Cyril. But
Cyril took them both out.
But we cannot, you know, ignore the fact that we were also there. and
we did stuff.
we did stuff too. And also think about this. We have two friends and they're little lizard puppies. And the thing about it also, no one in that town cares for him at all. So his eyes are shut off and cut off, literally in the fact that Sylvester and Tariel are dead. And so we can come to his town. We can go secretively. We can get the Rakir to come help. And then what happens if, we rough him up and then we need to run away? There are people there who certainly don't want to keep working for him.
I mean, we don't know for sure that he isn't listening to us right now.
Actually,
and Elon looks up like...
Jolly would want to look around when he mentions Talriel, be like, wait, we only did kill 2 of them. Like, does Jolly see anything around or anyone, any sign of anything?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Ah, that's a nat 20.
Really?
Sweet. So that's a 19.
Okay.
Great.
Incredible.
Freaking heck.
That's too good. You do not see anybody around. You do spot just outside the city gate little gliders of some sort with like little sails.
As if they were using those? Cool. But
Like sand from a Nickelodeon. No, I can't even say that, can I?
Why can't we?
Similar.
Why can't
I don't
you?
know. Can we?
For sure, it's like the
Avatar: The
little
Last Airbender.
yeah, like
Yeah.
the Last Airbender.
Yeah.
I'm always confused about these, like...
you can mention things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
If it helps you picture it, say it, bro.
Gotcha.
Now, if I start airbending and I call it airbending
It's
in
a
the
little
game,
different.
then that's a little different. But I mean, I could probably still get away with it. But anyway, so yes, so I think that the sheriff is weaker than he's ever been. We have more people to fight him than there's ever been in the past. We have the impetus, and we've cut off his eyes. I realized when Tauriel was here that he used her to communicate, to know what was happening with us. I think she's been following us for a while. Like when we killed Silent Sylvester, and also when we got to the town, every time I think she was reporting, and then he could talk to us. Because think about when she came, he actually talked in that moment.
That is a good point.
Elon, give me an inside check.
Okay. 11.
I don't know if you necessarily like have your fears or concerns totally wiped away, but you recognize that there's logic in that.
Mm-hmm.
That eyes on kind of feels like what was happening
Yeah.
on his end.
Okay.
So the bigger guy, Sirocco, will offer. Naturally, we have an interest in this man being eradicated. We do not believe that his means are upstanding. We do not believe in how he is treating these people, but it does also serve the Rakir to have this land come up for new ownership. And so naturally we would be interested in that coming open.
Would you be interested in offering us an equity stake in the ownership of the land?
Naturally, we would have to visit with our attorneys on how we want that contract written out before we make any
For sure.
commitments.
Obviously nothing big. We wouldn't want to tie ourselves down. However, something very small like 2%, maybe 5%.
Well, I
across.
do wonder, like, we want the sheriff dead, but what's in this for us? You know, you get this huge land stake, and it sounds like you know
Sure.
something about the lethargy, but we have no idea what you actually know.
Perhaps that is something that we do have the ability to promise, is information about the lethargy. I think in addition to offering us a stake at the table is naturally we would be honor bound to offer boons. And the smaller one will say, Nadir,
Yes, I do believe that it is warranted that you do get help in helping our mission come to fruition. Naturally, the people of Crestor are not going to be bound to be people of the Rakir, but we do have people of the Rakir who are claimed in Crestor. However, we will offer them the ability to join our party.
So what you're saying is, right now, we are negotiating a pact from which
In exchange for a boon.
for some
That is
boons.
correct.
Okay, just so I have it clear.
That's right, a pact and a boon.
So possibly maybe
said it! They said the name!
maybe we could get this in writing. But one other thing I want to negotiate is, any current citizen of Crestor, once it is liberated, they can stay or depart as they wish.
That does not seem ridiculous a request.
Well, I'm hungry. We should eat some food.
Yes, I
Hungry for murder?
hungry for Sheriff Don's head.
Yeah.
No, I mean like
I'm
we
feeling
should
it.
we should have lunch. We just met these people. It's a nice way to like break bread,
okay.
sign the contract or whatnot.
Should we eat here though? I'm like,
I do not want to eat this cursed city. This
Yeah.
town sucks.
okay, good.
This is bad town.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to be here.
That's how the Pan Fried night went.
Do you know of any good trees
Trees?
between here and Crestor?
There was one, but
Yes,
it
there
sort
was
of burned.
one that the scorpion one. Yeah.
But no, the scorpion knocked that one over,
Yeah.
and then
Oh.
it lit on fire.
You know what? Nothing comes to mind. Sorry.
I think we found a cave though.
Oh.
Oh, you do not want to go into caves here.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
The scorpions live there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
No caves.
Like how big are? Never mind. We should. So I propose we make our way back to Crestor or towards Crestor, so that way we can gain more information and possibly along the way I might be able to do some magics.
So Alon's anxiety, as you say that, just probably visibly spikes. Like I'm like, probably stand up a little straighter, and I'm like, back to Crestor right now?
I mean, where else are we going to go for?
Oh, that's a good question because, Mr. Rakir, is it possible that if we go to your village and you have like, I don't know, 50 others of you that we can, go attack Sheriff Don with or something like that?
We do have warriors for sure. The issue with Crestor is that it is such a small location. The city is less than a square mile. It is built on top of each other. That an assault of our size would result in mass casualties. It is not possible to mitigate the risk.
So you are saying it must be a tactical insertion of sorts, that we go in, find the sheriff, and wreck him, like alone.
It would be advisable that either it is an assassination or we flush him out.
I like getting him out of where he's comfortable, personally.
I also am a fan of that. There are a lot of innocent people in that city, and we are aware of how powerful this man is purported to be. That should he be inclined to violence, a lot of innocents could die.
Okay, so it seems like, unless Charlie has something else to add, it makes sense that we plan to lead him out of the town.
I think that would be the smartest choice. The next question then is, where do we lead him to?
Maybe we can, survey the land around, make sure that maybe the Rakir have ideas.
Do we have Talriel's body? Maybe we taunt him.
We burned that.
Well, I guess we could find if there's any remnants. We have the badge.
You got her banned. That doesn't burn.
Do we have Sylvester's too?
Is it like real silver?
You could go back and get it.
All right.
It was betwixt.
Or is it just colored silver?
It is a silver substance. It is fabric, right?
Okay, so it's not worth anything.
You know, let's also grab Draven's, and maybe we did grab Draven's.
Draven's what?
He had a
He had
silver
an armband.
armband with a star.
Oh. Oh, yeah, I guess you did.
Yeah,
no, I
it
thought
just-
that was...
It didn't have a star,
Oh, no star.
just a silver band.
Sure.
We just need to go pick through the ruins of the inn, you know?
Dang, we shouldn't have burned that.
It was cinematic.
Essentially, they offer for you to ride with them on their little solar sail type deals. They're like a canoe body that you can sit in, and they just throw it up, and there's a little bit of an engine that throws air upwards into the sail that pushes it forward, and it moves quite quickly. You could get to Crestor today.
Wow.
Pretty easily. Nadir will recommend
It is not advisable that we go ahead first. I recommend that we do some sort of surveillance so that we know exactly what we are going up against and what might be available to us.
So, on that note, actually, maybe that's a bad idea. We haven't really trained the dog yet, right?
Brooks.
Brooks.
He's a dog with 2 broken hind legs,
Okay.
but he appears to be like a Doberman of some kind.
So we could train him? Well, maybe... I think Jolly would probably want to suggest getting some sort of tactical position. So maybe looking for like a ridge that overlooks Crestor,
Okay.
or like, you know, getting...
So there's not much,
Okay.
right? It feels, if you recall, like when you were leaving, if you look back toward where Crestor was, you wouldn't know that there was a city if there wasn't a fence around the cliff edge, because it is built into the cliff, and there isn't much beach between the cliff edge, a little bit of rocky, sandy beach, and then the super long, windy dock that leads to the ocean. So looking out, if you did not know where Crestor was, it would be very easily passed over. And now you're seeing why someone might want that, right? If it's a trap, it's a pretty easy trap to spring. It's also pretty hard to spring a trap when there's not much around.
Yeah, he also has like 200 people as hostages.
Correct. So, as you arrive close to the city line, you see Nadir kind of points out,
This is where the property line lies.
and you can see small stakes of wood, just random pieces of wood sparsed out about every 10 feet, outlining this property line. And it's about 100 feet away from the cliff edge. So you get the sense that this property is quite small, like maybe 300, 400 feet deep.
What are we trying to survey? So, I mean, we find Sheriff Dawn, and we see kind of what his daily regimen looks like, but what does that actually accomplish?
I suppose I was hoping for a way to look at him and watch him and discern some sort of weakness. However, I believe that the second we return and he is aware of our presence, he will kill us. He will try to kill us because of our actions towards the garbage lady and the mouth sewn shut fellow.
So I have a thought. It seems, I mean, we know that these people are oppressed, and that under the right circumstances, at least a few of them would rebel. And so doesn't it make the most sense? Well, whatever we're trying to do here, we really push for that insurrection, you know? That's probably our only chance, is if everybody were to kind of be in on this distraction that we provide.
I don't know if that is a good idea. There are women and children down there.
You do recall that obviously that one guy was packing some punch, right? So you get the sense that if adventurers of any sort of power were to have just fallen trap, it's very likely that there's some people in there who've got some power. Naturally, there are women and children in there, right? And that is just unacceptable to try and rally them to fight. But there are people who can and might be able to help aid in this fight.
This is where I need Cyril.
So where is he?
You know, I don't... 1 second. Cyril? Hello?
You do not get a reply.
All right. Yeah, I mean... Can I roll an insight check?
Sure.
While he's doing that, can I start tinkering with the
12.
the tower?
In what way? 12, you don't get anything.
I want to see. This is probably a huge ask. I want to see if I can discern how to change the boundary lines. So, like, pick up a stake here and move it or something, and also maybe turn off the boundary lines or something
Interesting.
like that.
Okay.
And maybe I'll explain what I'm thinking. Jolly's thinking that if he can like manipulate the boundary lines and like extend the boundary lines, maybe that will alert Sheriff Don of like, hey, something awesome has happened, and then get him to come out.
I mean, even without something awesome happening, literally one of these direct here is that guys would just have to walk into the boundary a little bit and set off the alarm. And we'd probably give him cause to come up at least.
Actually, yeah. Is there a way then, like that Jolly could figure out how to make it so it triggers on things that aren't just humanoids? So like starting to give false alarms.
Okay, that seems a little bit more within your capability
Okay.
to impact what is triggering.
Yeah.
That is honestly like that feels like a good idea to try and like set off the alarm based on one of like the Rakir. You remember Sheriff showed up, other people hid.
Yeah. So Jolly will probably say like, so I think I have a little bit of a plan. Maybe if we could manipulate what sets off the alarm, then we might be able to have it set off on like one of those little lizard puppies. See if Sheriff Don comes out with any more deputies, and that way we know a little bit of what we're looking at.
You'd think that if animals triggered it, they would just have chaos.
But that's what I'm saying. I want to figure out a way to manipulate it using this technology that I have and sort of tap into the network if there is one. So that way it does trigger on animals for sure. Or maybe even like a rock or something, you know.
Just cause so many alarms. Just
Well, actually,
that's
that would be super good
well,
idea.
that's a great way to just cause, you know, I mean, what are they going to do if there's alarms triggered at every single point along the boundary?
Absolutely. Maybe we do. Actually, that brings up another point. If we can figure out if there are multiple deputies still left loyal to him, then we could set up simultaneous alarms, so that way they have to separate, and then we could take some out and then work on others, or maybe take Sheriff Don out while the children, we need to save them. I don't know if you can hear them, but they're crying right now.
I
But
don't know what you're talking about.
They also have dogs.
they also have dogs. But we might be able to separate and then focus on individuals at one time.
It's not a bad idea, especially considering that, you know, like you said, the Rakir are people without the armband. So if they step into the perimeter, alarm goes off. Now, they don't need to stay. They can, you know, step in, step out, so to speak. And then, you know, we can hide around and just, you know, scope it out. Maybe we even go from a distance and just, you know, see what's happening.
Exactly.
And then if he comes along, you know, we rush him and just try our best, because there's more of us, many more of us at this point, you know, 5 to his 1. But if he comes, you know, with other people, then we back off and we maybe try a stealthier approach.
Okay. So I guess, can I like start tinkering?
Yeah, go ahead. Wolfgang, Nadir will offer, you appear to be, give me 3 consecutive tinkering checks. I want to know if you, DC 15.
Okay. What's the Is it just wisdom? Is it
Intelligence
Okay.
plus proficiency.
Okay.
You appear to be a little bit more on the stealthier side than your companions.
Yes, it's not hard to be better than them at stealth. Yes. Thank you.
How would you like to take a walk and see what we can see?
I like that idea. Yes. In fact, I've been wanting to, with these armbands, and they took our blood as well. I've been wanting to, maybe go up to the walls, go up to the main buildings, sneak a little bit, find out what's what.
Let us see what we can find.
Okay.
Night falls as you are kind of thinking. Elon, you and Sirocco can. What would you guys like to be working on or thinking about in this?
I guess I'm probably more scheming. Like I'm trying to think of a way that once we have pandemonium, what is the next move? Because I don't think
Sure.
causing chaos and then just attacking Sheriff outright is going to work super well. So
Yeah.
I'm like, how can we infiltrate? Get the word to everybody that something's going to happen and they need to be on the lookout for it.
Okay. Give me a history check with advantage.
21, 11, 10.
16.
Okay. History check. I'm trying to think of a something. This is obviously not something you have done before, right?
No.
Believe it or not.
No.
As a fisherman, this was not your forte, was laying siege, holding surveillance and reconnaissance. This is out of your depth. And
sure.
yet you know that there's something you can contribute here. Pandemonium. Think of a wet storm ripping through the atoll. Think of the night when Zana came. What is your move to protect your people when lightning is crashing, smashing into the giant trees, rain pouring down? Where do your priorities go?
Find a shelter. Sure. Okay. So I guess in that case, I will be kind of surveying the landscape and trying to maybe formulate an escape plan or something, seeing if I can find some weak point.
Okay.
Or
Give me a perception check.
okay. Goodness. 12.
Okay. As you're walking around, you hear Sirocco go, "Oh no, brother," and you step into the property line, and no alarm sounds.
Yeah, because I have my so I can go in deep. All right, I guess I'm going in. I feel, Sirocco, you obviously can't come with me.
No, I am not interested in going with you in this.
All right, well,
I will stay with my fellow big man.
okay.
What was that? Ching, ching.
Jolly, I'm leaving. I'll see you later.
Oh, okay. I guess I will stay here with the stranger, and you will go off alone, and Wolfgang will also be alone with the stranger.
I mean, he left a while ago, didn't he?
Yeah, that was... I was busy working and tuning out his insults about how bad I am at stealth.
You need to pay attention
Well,
to your surroundings.
So there's a cliff, right? And the only way to get into Crestor is that path that we originally took out, right? Is that kind of what I'm...
Unless you could
Spider climb.
spider climb, or if you're good with ropes and knots.
I was going to say, how far down is it?
It was about 100 foot to a 200 foot drop in some areas.
Okay.
It's a 3-tier city, right?
I like to think with my sailor background, I definitely am proficient at least climbing ropes and getting down, you wrap your foot around it and you can kind of slide down.
I'd say so.
And maybe I'd rig up a bowline just to, give myself a little bit more security and a Prussic loop around the rope so that if I start to fall too rapidly, I can tighten it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I did.
Meanwhile, Jolly's tinkering with the doohickey and clanging all the what's-its. I don't know.
Yes, what is that doohickey that you are banging on?
Oh, it's the banger. Justin
What
said
a
that,
convenience.
not Jolly.
You mean thingamabobs?
Banging
He's got
on
20.
the doohickey.
Oh, goodness. Okay, sweet. We'll resolve yours in a moment. Wolfgang, you and Nadir, you walk down just like normal off a sheer cliff. Are you going straight on, or are you kind of coming from the north or south?
So tell me a little bit about the layout of this town again. Like where is Sheriff Don's main building?
It was on the third tier, the top tier of the city. There was a sheriff's office that was right by the staircase that leads up and out of Crestor. Here's a super roughshod drawing. You folks at home, you won't be able to see it. This was the gate to get out of Crestor. Sheriff Don's office right here on that top floor. There were a couple of other official-esque buildings throughout. Yep. And there's a staircase that leads down to each tier and then out to the
So
top.
his is right there.
Yep. So the sheriff's office right here. There is a tower built into it.
Could I see if anyone's at the top of that tower?
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
While he's doing this, we're probably going to put the picture of that either on Instagram or Patreon.
Sure.
12
Looks like garbage,
for
baby.
perception.
Okay. You don't see anybody up there. Give me stealth checks.
Okay.
You see Nadir kind of pull his hood up and gets a little bit more sneaky.
Okay, I got a 23.
Fabulous. You feel sufficiently hidden.
Perfect. So at this point, we're coming from the outside. We see this wall. And I would like to just kind of slowly crawl up the wall until I can like poke my head over and just like see if there's anyone around. If there's no one around, or if I see there's some people around certain parts of the wall, I'd like to go to a part where there aren't really any people, where it's really dark.
Okay.
And just try and like crawl over that place.
Okay. You see that Sheriff Don's office is pretty heavily lit. That there's lights shining around it. Two of the government buildings, we'll call it what it is. There's one to the immediate south of the sheriff's office, and another one even further south on that top tier, as well as the armory where you guys got your gear and you met that dwarven fellow. If you recall, he also had a star on his band.
That he did. I'd like to find the go to the government building that's basically kind of placed closest to the wall.
Okay.
And I would like to climb over the wall and kind of use that building almost as like cover.
This one has 2 arcane lights over a door and nothing on the wall-facing side.
Perfect. That's where I'd like to enter in.
You and Nadir, you see Nadir kind of whisper something in Draconic to his 4. He performed a ritual to bring back the 4th, and they disappear. And he will slink down the rock wall with you.
Perfect.
Wait, inside Crestor? What?
So, we're there. How far away are we from the sheriff's office?
So this one would be the furthest south. So it's about 500, 600 feet from the sheriff's office.
I'd like to start working my way over to the sheriff's office.
Okay. There's a couple of windows on this one.
Can my character, what's the word, crouch?
Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
you can spider climb, right? Like you can,
Yeah.
you can get all bat-like if you wish.
I would love to. I'd like to go, just like over the roof sometime, just like staying low. Sometimes I literally just crawl around the window just gecko-like.
Mm-hmm.
And is there any like small child on the way? I'm feeling hungry. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
Terrible.
You're a bad person.
Give me a perception or investigation check.
Yeah, I mean, I would like, in all seriousness, I would like to see what people are around. 6.
6. Yeah, it's dark, and you have dark vision, but I think it's so focused on. Actually, he'll give you the help action. Nadir's not doing anything, so you might as well get the help action.
Could we have taken a short rest on the way here?
Yeah, I would consider it more even like a long rest of
really?
Preparing,
Gotcha.
right?
Okay,
so I can
got a
change
15.
spells and stuff.
Sure.
I got a 15.
15. In this first room, you see that there are crates, and this appears to be like a cache of sorts.
I would like to pop in. I'd actually like to climb through the window and just see what's in the crates.
Okay. Give me a luck check, just a raw D20 roll.
Okay, I can do that. That's a 1.
The window is locked.
Well, I keep going. I move on.
Okay.
Wasn't meant to be.
Man, I wish I knew what was in that building.
Okay, I hear him,
So
and I'm
are we.
like, you know what? Fine, I'm going to try a sleight of hand to unlock the freaking door.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Or have him do it, like classic Fallout, like, hey, go hack that computer.
Guys, I rolled a 10 on sleight of hand, so...
Um,
And I do have like a toolkit for it. I'm just apparently unpracticed.
apparently, he'll give you the help action. He's not doing anything else.
I've been rolling like garbage most of this time. 20. There you go. Finally.
All right. You are able to prop open that window.
There you go.
You can hear, now that the window is open, that there is one individual mulling about in this building.
Yeah, I'd like to, and the room I'm assuming is dark.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to go in,
Okay.
and I would like to.
I will keep a watch.
Perfect. It's, do like a little caca if anything's coming. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Perfect. And then I go in, and I would like to. Is the door into the rest of the building open?
It is a warehouse.
Oh, it's it's one
so
big
open space.
Okay, I would like to find out first off where the person is, and then I would like to search and see what the crate is. I just want to make sure I know where they are so they don't sneak up on me.
Okay. You see that they are at a desk, and they have little vials of blood.
Oh, this is the blood storage?
There is a goblin-looking individual, goggles similar to Silent Sylvester, with their lips stitched closed.
Again?
What is going on? I mean, I'm not there.
Elon.
Okay, so I'm like walking through the dark up to this cliff, having just, pondered about what I'm going to actually do, and probably feeling pretty out of my element. So I'm looking for either like a good tree. I've rappelled off trees, or like a rock with wide enough base I could throw a rope around it.
Yeah. You would find a rock, not necessarily a tree, but you could find a rock for that.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rig it up like I said I was going to earlier, but I'm going to kind of use it at first just to lean over the edge, and I'm looking for plateaus coming down, because 150 feet is a big...
Yeah, so it's 150 from the top and then to the very bottom, but there's 3 tiers of residential between that.
Oh, okay.
So it would only be like a 30-foot,
Oh, that's
40
easy.
foot,
Okay,
whatever the rest.
great. So I'm going to try and get down to that first residential zone and then make my way from there.
As you drop down, give me a perception check.
14.
So, Sirako, what sort of drinks do the Rakir generally pass out at a party or something?
Oh, you would not believe the kind of drinks that we would have. Let me tell you in detail about them.
Oh, I'd love to hear.
Elon.
Wait, what happened?
Just small talk.
That's
Oh,
just
okay. Okay.
that was an aside
Oh, okay.
of what's happening back there.
I thought it was like
Meanwhile, back at the ranch,
something was about to blow up.
No.
you don't know that it won't.
Okay.
Wait, we're talking about drinks, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, it's gonna blow."
Well,
I mean,
with you, yeah.
Well, I mean,
you
let's
see
be honest,
gasoline,
folks.
you're like, hey, can I make a drink out of that?
Yeah.
We don't have any more of that, so no drinks.
Okay. 14.
You spot a pretty fresh grave on the second tier below you.
Really? And is it out of place? Like there's no other mounds?
There's some mounds. One appears to be pretty fresh.
Okay.
And a little kid's toy is on it.
Okay, great. That's what I was just thinking. So it's a small grave, and I assume no.
No. Looks like the grave of a dad.
Oh, it's yeah.
It's the guy.
Forgot his name. Okay, well I'll pay a quick tribute. Just like you didn't deserve that. And then
No, he didn't.
Okay, where did that come from?
You see a woman standing in a door frame.
Is it the wife? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna kind of like look around. Do I see anybody else out?
You don't see anybody else out. It's pretty well in the middle of the night.
Okay, I'm gonna run up to the door. I don't even know what to say. How are you holding up?
Really well.
I mean, I know it's bad. I like I said, I don't really know what you're going through. But I'm here to hopefully put an end to the sheriff.
How?
Well, we brought back some friends, and I don't know, maybe you have some insight for me.
Give me a persuasion check.
Laying on the charm. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Make out with the widow.
Widows are your specialty.
Oh gosh. That is a 22.
How confident are you that this will work?
I'm not confident at all. In fact, I probably was coerced into this a little bit because I have two friends anywhere within 1,000 miles of here, and they wanted to do this.
Honestly, the honesty is refreshing. We have people ready.
What is your name?
Jezri.
Jezri. Can I come in?
Please.
So I'll walk into her house, and I assume there's like a place to sit down.
No.
No.
You see that the two kids, the older boy and the younger boy, are asleep on basically a rug in the corner of the room.
This is so unfair. How did you come to be under the sheriff's watch?
We were also shipwrecked.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
We tried coming out of Gast, and storm got us.
You said you're ready. What does that mean?
Our oppression has gone on too long unchecked, and Nolan's death may well be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
For a lot of people here. So Nolan was well liked.
Nolan was a father to many.
Yeah, when he stood up to the sheriff, my friends and I think we all wanted to intervene, but we were so shocked and had been through so much that I don't know why we didn't do anything.
I urge you to do something.
Well, what about your kids? Where are they going to go? I rigged up this rope, but like I guess even if you leave, I don't know.
You see her mind is kind of racing on what to do. You know, not all of us are powerless.
I had planned on a lot of you hopefully being skilled in magic and other ways. So I'm glad to hear that.
I think myself and another can hide the kids. Where is this rope?
In all, I guess, like, is our window. I'll kind of like point out.
Great. I think it would be wise to meet with some others. Show them that there is opportunity.
Yes, I'm happy to talk to them.
Okay. I'll have you give me, we'll do 5 persuasion rolls.
Okay.
3 fails or 3 successes. I'm going to have you roll 2 more times on your tinker check to determine the final result. You see this individual, Wolfgang, below.
Okay. Is there any way that I could do like an insight to see how strong I think this individual is?
Yeah, you could do medicine check, insight. You could call it history to kind of go off of like military training. You can use 2 rolls with advantage. I want you to do this so bad.
I know,
but
right?
You just cannot roll.
So the first one I got a 15.
Okay.
So
So that's 2 successes, 2 failures.
Okay, so with that natural one, by the way, I got a natural one on the second roll. Is that the second roll of the first one or the first roll of the second?
You pick.
First roll of the second.
Okay.
23
There we are.
with advantage.
What roll are you choosing, Wolfgang?
Okay. Let's go with insight, and it's 12.
Okay. You're not too sure. This is obviously a smaller individual.
Yeah.
You don't spot any weapons on this person. It could be just because they're working, but they're using blood, and there is a little bit of arcana going on with how they're handling it.
Okay.
So there is a little bit of wariness naturally, just from your history with Hemocraft.
Yeah.
But you're also formidable.
Yeah, because what's going in Wolfgang's mind right now is he's like, I would love to talk with this person, but I see the stitching. Maybe it's one of those things where I need to touch him and then we can communicate, but then he could also communicate with Sheriff Don. Do I see a gold star?
Yeah.
I do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so he's bought in. At this point, I'm just like, okay, I think we would just need to, well, how big is this warehouse? Pretty big?
It's pretty big.
Okay, I go to the far end. I try and see if I can quietly open one of the crates with like the stuff.
Yeah, give me another stealth check. Elon, what'd you get on your persuasion rolls?
3 of them were above 20.
Okay,
So
great. How much over 20?
23, 21, and a 22.
Okay, that will be important.
Okay, I got a 24.
You are successfully able to open the crate fairly silently, and you see names of, you assume, citizens on little vials of blood. They are separated between the plasma and the blood as though they've just been sitting there a while. In each crate, there is a purple glowing rock.
Freaking A. They're through the blood monsterifying people, is my guess. Okay. Question, what is this building made out of? Wood?
Yes.
Okay. I exit. I go to my friend among the wreck here. What's his name?
Nadir.
Nadir. Okay. So I go with Nadir, and I tell him what I saw. I was like, so it looks to be a man who, similar to one of the other like head deputies, has the stitched mouse, the gold star, and he's doing something with his blood. I opened up one of the crates, and it looks like they have a purple rock inside of each tube, and I think that's an issue. And personally, I want to talk with him. I want to find out what he is doing. I don't know if we can do that without him telling, Sheriff Don, because it seems like there's some sort of telepathic communication link. So I'm also tempted that, you and I go in there and we just ambush him, get rid of him very, very quickly. What do you think?
I think it could be advisable if he has any abilities that we do not have those against us.
Yes, I think...
Especially when there is hints of the corruption around. That is not something that we want to mess with.
Yes, and then afterwards, I personally, at some point, want to just burn this place to the ground. And get rid of, all this blood, open it up, just break the crates. I don't know, but
You
I
have
think...
my word.
Yes, thank you. You are a good friend. I can trust you.
Yes, you can.
Good.
He'll suggest.
You go high, I go low.
Okay, I'll go over the crates. Actually, no, I'll just be on the ceiling. That's probably safer.
It was very cool that you were able to do that.
Yes,
I will
thank
not
you.
lie.
You know what? My other two friends haven't even mentioned it. Haven't even said, "Oh, cool job. Good thing that you can walk on the
Pretty sure
ceiling."
Jolly asked, like, how can you do that?
And I'm pretty sure that Jolly can mind his own business.
Because Jolie is not here.
You position yourself on the roof
Yes.
and poise yourself to attack.
Yes. I'm doing it with a short bow, because obviously not the pistol.
You're not going to lunge at him? It's been a minute since you were hungry.
Oof. Just starved.
That would be epic. You just
The last thing you feasted on was Silent Sylvester,
And that
and
tasted
that
disgusting.
made you vomit.
Yep. So,
As you position yourself on the ceiling, you
I'm like, oh, this is a longer diet than I've ever been on. And so, yeah, I get above him. Do I see that Nadir's lined up?
Nadir, you don't see, but he summoned one of his drakes with
Perfect.
him, and you get the sense that there might be some burrowing situation.
Okay, I love to hear it. So, I would like to, first things first, I would like to cast Hunter's Mark. And like I'm hanging above, my hair's like hanging down, and I kind of like just bite, my finger, and then with the blood on it, just like point at him and do like an arrow, and that casts the Hunter's Mark on him. And then I would like to fire twice, because it's the first turn.
I have to say something. So your mustache is normally pointing up, but now that you're upside down, it's actually pointing down.
Go ahead and roll your 2 attacks to hit with advantage.
Perfect. Let's do this. Okay. So 18 to hit,
Hit.
and then 20 to hit. Not
Hit.
dirty 20. And then okay, let's roll damage. Okay, so far 11. Let me add
If you get no less than 15, if you get 15 damage or more, something cool is going to happen.
Okay, well, currently it's 17, and then it is it's 21.
That's more than 15.
That is more than 15. Wolfgang, I'm going to have you do for the first time a limit break.
Yes.
I want you to roll a D100 for me.
Oh heavens. Okay, I can do that.
What's a limit break, Jake?
Limit break. Jake.
coming soon.
It's a homebrew game mechanic to make the characters cooler.
That's a 21.
21. The hunger grows and grows and grows. May I take some liberties?
Go ahead.
Following immediately behind your arrows that find purchase in the back of this goblin's neck, paralyzing him immediately. You pounce down like a feral animal, plunging your teeth into his neck, and drink like you have never drunk before. You get the sense that you could now attack this person again and again and again. Your muscles growing stronger and more tense as you have leveled up. To level 5.
That's pretty dope.
Wow.
Pretty dang dope.
Guys,
And that's where we're going to end our episode, gang.
Oh.
This has been the Pact Boon. Are you feeling the tension yet?
Yes.
Palms are sweaty.
Palms are sweaty.
Mom's
It isn't
spaghetti.
because it's just
Mom's
hot in here.
spaghetti.
It is
Gang.
warm.
Follow us. You know you want in on this action. You know you want to see if Sheriff Don gets got or if the gang gets got in return. Let's put him down, please. Folks, follow us on everything. Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. Leave reviews. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Share it with strangers on the street. They want to know. They just don't know they want to know. Buy some stuff. Roll and play. Monument. Buy our minis. You're going to see them next week. This is the Pact Boon. Thank you so much for tuning in.